of governing class. If you keep on speaking that language, one fine day you become powerful. Slaves know only the slavish language. Chamchas know only the language of chamchas. Being a chamcha, you cannot get rid of a chamchagiri. Being a slave, you cannot get rid of slavery. So you feel that you are a ruler. Only then you will be able to get rid of the slavery over a period of time. So psychologically, you should become powerful. To become psychologically powerful, you must keep changing your language from the slave's language to the ruling class language. And change your language, nothing great can happen. So the famous quotation of Baba Ambedkar is that we cannot make long-last progress unless we go through threefold of purification. What is the threefold of purification? Number one, you must change your general demeanor, including, then that is one thing. Second thing, you must change your tonality. And the third thing is you must vitalize your thoughts. See, vitalizing the thoughts is the final thing. But the first thing is change your general demeanor, which is very easy. Next thing is change your language. That is also easy. Actually, changing your thought psychologically, that's a difficult thing. But everyone advises us to change our psychology first. But psychology can be changed once you change your general demeanor and also your language. And this is what Kanshi said. And this is what he taught. Look at all his slogans. Nota wala harega, vota wala jeetega. What a beautiful slogan. Nota wala harega, vota wala jeetega. Kyonki in democracy, it is the people with votes must win, not the people with the notes. The people with notes must be defeated. It is only the people with votes who must win. So you have the votes, so you can easily defeat the people with the notes. See, this is what a beautiful message. And similar slogans, he has given many slogans. In all these slogans, the central point or the message is that you should change your language. Dalits should change their language. In fact, even he was advising Dalits to get rid of that very name Dalit, because Dalit means broken, oppressed. Why do you want to call yourself a broken people? When he started Oppressed India as a journal for his movement while he was running this bomb safe, somebody asked him, when you become a ruling class, then will you continue the same journal, Oppressed India? Then Manyar Kanshi said, I'm running this journal, Oppressed India, till our people know that they are at present oppressed and they want to get rid of oppression. Once we become rulers, then I'll give this Oppressed India, this title to the Brahmins. Because once we become the rulers, then the rulers, if they accept the change, then they will be our equal partners. If they don't accept the change, and if we refuse to become our equal partners, then there is no other option for them. They will become oppressed. At that time, I will hand over this oppressed India to them. He has showed how, this language will ultimately bring the change. In the first government in UP in 1995, within 1 or 2 months after assuming power, after Mayawati ji became a chief minister, when he was sitting in a government guest house one day, some people came and told our workers, "Saab ji, just come and see outside. Bahar aakar dekho idhar. Bahut maja chal raha hai." Then he said, "What is it? You come and see yourself." He went and saw outside against the secretariat. A person was sitting on dharna in a pandal. He went and saw. He was none other than N.D. Tiwari, the ex-chief minister of Uttar Pradesh. He asked him, "Tiwari Saab, kya kar raha hai idhar?" He was always not Tiwari Saab, he was saying Pandit Saab. "Pandit Saab, kya kar raha hai idhar?" He said, "Don't ask me. Look at the banner." He saw the banner. And what was written in the banner? It is written, "Please save the Brahmins from the oppression of Dalits, particularly Chamars. Looking at us, Kanshiramji started laughing. Pandit ji, ye jaga hai, ye permanently meant for Dalits. Why are you sitting here? No, stop making fun. I want solution, he said. What is the solution? See the board. We want justice. Then he said, Pandit ji, you have been oppressing our people for 2000 years. Only just few years ago, we started demanding justice. But our rule started just 2 months ago. Within 2 months ago, you are impatient and you can't tolerate our rule and you are feeling the pain of oppression. How is it? So he was making fun. Then finally said, tell me what exactly your grievance? He said, see, your people are unnecessarily lodging complaints against us. They are lodging fake FIRs against us. Ask your people to stop it. Then Ghanshyam assured him, don't worry, today itself, I'll give the instruction. Please go home and be happy. It will not happen. I assure you. See, I am not like you people. Once I assure you, it will be carried out and I'll be sincere in what I'm saying. Please go. Then he left the place. So he was telling the other people. See, this is what will happen once we capture the power in the entire India. He knows it well. If you become the rulers, then the oppression will start against them. That is why they will allow you to become the rulers. Sir, that is their duty. They are doing it.
Sir, just a second. Sorry for interruption. Your camera is shaking quite a lot. Is there a way? Because we are also recording.
Oh, is it okay now?
Yeah, because when you are speaking, it's shaking. The screen is shaking with you. Is there a way maybe you can put it somewhere or somebody can hold it for you? Because
I'm alone here. There is nobody.
Okay, you proceed then. You proceed. No worries.
I'm sitting on the sofa and speaking.
Good.
I'll try to hold it tightly. Because I'm shaking, the whole body speaks now. So naturally. So he gave a practical example and saying that, see, it is making demands or appeals to the ruling class. Oppression will not stop. Oppression can be stopped only you become the ruler. They are oppressing you because they are powerful. So if you want to get rid of oppression, then you should also become powerful. So becoming powerful is the secondary thing. But let your language be powerful. Don't speak like a helpless people. So he was telling to, especially for the South Indians. South Indians cannot become the rulers, he was telling. I asked him, why we cannot become rulers? He said, you know only the language of Daliting. He said, Daliting is a new word I've coined and I've introduced this new word, Daliting. Now, what is the meaning? Because Dalits, they are not able to understand my language. I'm asking these, the bloody Dalits, he was telling bloody Harijans. I'm asking these bloody Harijans to become rulers. But they are feeling, why should we become rulers? It is such a Herculean task. It is very most difficult task. How can you become rulers? And what is the need to become rulers? Whatever you are demanding, you are getting. What you are demanding? You are making a big demand for 10 acres and you will be happy with just 1 or 2 cents of the land. You are asking for a very big thing, but you will be happy for very small thing. And there ends the matter. And you are happy with that. To become happy, you don't require big things. Petty things will be enough. It is a very interesting thing is, when he started BSP unit in Karnataka, some of the press people questioned him. When the press people came near to him, he asked all of us to sit with him. The pressman asked him, Mr. Kanshiram, who are your constituents? For whom this party has been started? Who are the beneficiaries mainly? He said, naturally, it is the SCSTs, OBCs and minorities. Immediately he said, they have their own party. No, which is their party? Congress is their party. Congress is meant for SCSTs mainly and also for the minorities and to some extent OBCs. And Congress has done a lot of things for your people. They have given you sites, they have given you houses, they have given you job, and so many things. They have given you protection, so many things. Then Kanshi said, yes, they have given us so many things. I agree with them. When Congress has given all these things to them, then what else you can give through your party? Then Kanshi said, Manyar Kanshamji said, I'm not here to give them any big benefits. I don't give any benefits to them, which Congress has given. I cannot give. Then what are you going to give? I give very small thing to them. I want to give them very small thing. Very small. Yeah, very small. Yeah, very small. What is it? I just want to give them the key, the political power. I want to give that. It's a master key. I want to give that a master key, the political power to my people. I don't want any money. I don't want big houses. I don't want any sites. It's a very small thing I'm asking. This is what he said. And with that, he asked our people, see, this is what you have to acquire. It's a very small thing, but you have to work a lot. You have to struggle a lot, because the work of every ruler is very big, very tough. You must become rulers. For that, you have to make big efforts. No ruler has acquired the power without efforts. If he acquires power without big efforts, if he gets it easily, he will lose it very easily. And power cannot come freely. Power can come only by continuous struggle, relentless struggle, sacrifice. Without that, you cannot get the power. But being the Dalits, you are afraid of making sacrifices. Being Dalits, you refuse to take risks. Being Dalits, you don't want to make any sacrifice. You don't want to take big struggles. You don't want to take big challenges, because the way you have started speaking, the way you have developed a language, it has killed your very psychology of becoming powerful. Your language has spoiled your life. Your language has spoiled your vision. You lost the vision, and you psychologically feel that you are unable to capture the power. You are unable to get what you want. You are demanding for renaming the Marathwada University. I told the Mahars, only rulers alone rename any university or any circle, any road or anything. Only rulers can do it. By begging the rulers, what you can get? They can name a road which is leading to your colony. They can name a circle which is very near to your child, your Maharwada. But they will not name Babasaheb Ambedkar's name to any big circle, any big road leading to the capital city, leading to your secretariat. To name the university or a big road after your great leaders, then you should become rulers. But our Mahar people said, no, that's a big thing. We can't do that. We can make some halagula, we can make some dharna, we can make some rally, and we will get it done. I told them, you can keep on struggling. You can hardly get it. And then I believed, see why these people cannot do it, because they have not seen people becoming powerful. They have not seen people with the winners. They have not seen victorious people. They have not seen among them. If they have seen somebody who is a winner, winner, then they would have followed them. But unfortunately, they know about Babasaheb Ambedkar, but they don't know Ambedkar. Knowing Ambedkar is different from knowing about Ambedkar. So I must show them what is Ambedkarism. I must show them what exactly the meaning of Ambedkarism, the meaning of Babasaheb Ambedkar's message through my own actions. I must prove them. Then I decided, after acquiring the power in Uttar Pradesh, we named 4 universities after our great people. Babasaheb Ambedkar University Actually, the name was given by the central government to a central university because we named 3 other universities, state universities, after Baba Sahib Ambedkar, Mahatma Phule, and Shahu Maharaj. Seeing that, these Congress people also gave the name to a central university in Uttar Pradesh of Baba Sahib Ambedkar. But they did not do it in Maharashtra because you never aim to acquire political power. In Uttar Pradesh, we prepared our people to get the political power, to capture the political power, to get the key. So that is why the central government, they wanted to hide that political power behind the university, behind the central university, by keeping the name of Baba Sahib Ambedkar to that university. But we never stopped with that. We went ahead and named after the state university after the name of Baba Sahib Ambedkar, Mahatma Phule, and Shahu Maharaj. So you aim at capturing the political power. If you want to capture the political power, you must feel powerful. You must speak the language of powerful people. You must speak the language of governing class. Baba Sahib Ambedkar also said, I want to see my people as a governing class. But before becoming the governing class, learn to speak the language of a governing class. He said, you told our people, go on, write on your walls that you shall be the rulers of tomorrow. But at that time, our people, though they want to write it on their walls, they did not have such a structured house. They had only jopdis, juggi jopdis. How can they write? So they did not write. But by the time they construct the pakka houses, they forgotten these slogans. Because most of their leaders became chamchas of Congress and other Manuwadi parties. And these idiots, these so-called leaders, they are not leaders, they are dealers. They taught them the language gave by Gandhiji. Gandhiji wanted us to remain as Harijans. And we learned the language of Harijans. See, being Harijans, we know only to beg for their mercy, because that's what Gandhi did. He was telling Harijans, poor people, they cannot do anything on their own. We must help them. We must lift them up. We must give them free rice. We must give them free houses, because they are Harijans. Same, the Harijan mentality continued even after you started your Dalit movements. It is not correct to call it a Dalit movement, Dalit organizations. So Dalit organizations, they did not understand the language of Baba Sahib Ambedkar. As a member who came up from Dalit organizations, I very authoritatively I tell you, Dalit organization never speak about Baba Sahib Ambedkar's true history. They don't know about it, because all the people who guided them, the ideologues, they were all Gandhians, socialists, communists. They did not know anything about Baba Sahib Ambedkar. They were telling to boycott the elections. Our idiots also boycotted the elections in the beginning. All Dalit organizations boycotted the elections. Why? Because any party that comes to power, that cannot protect Dalits, that cannot give us justice. True. But what is the solution? What is the alternative? Refusing to vote them is not the solution. Whether you vote, because there are other fools to vote them, so they'll get the majority. So what makes Dalits being oppressed by others is the power. So you acquire power, only then you can defeat them. Only then oppression can end. But you feel that I cannot acquire power. Your language, the language you acquired is developed. The language you developed is the language of the slaves, the language of the losers, not the winners. So unless you develop the language of winners, how can you become winner? So develop this language first. Speak that language. So from day one, Manya or Kanshi understood this, and he kept on insisting on changing our language. He was always telling, don't speak the language of Dalits. don't speak the language of Harijans. While speaking in English, he was telling, he was just translating the word Harijan as bastards. So in 2001, when he came to Karnataka to field a candidate in a by-election, he wanted to field Mr. Arif Ahmad Khan from Karnataka, from Ballari. At that time, he came to study the situation in Ballari. At that time, he was sitting with three of us, and he was telling us, I want to make these bastards of India as ruling class before my death. By 2006, 50 years will be over. Baba Saheb Ambedkar conversion will be over. 50 years will be completed in 2006. By that time, I want to capture the power in the center. And at least in 10 states, we want to have our own government. This is my target, it's my goal. So I struggle for that, and I sacrifice everything. And I'm ready to take this challenge. I'm ready to do anything. I take any kind of risk to any extent. I do all my best. If I cannot do it, I just lift up my hands and I say goodbye to this world. See, similar thing happened in 2004 when Behenji left the power. Manyar Kanshi, that was his last speech. He told, see, he wanted to capture the power in center, but now things it seems to be a little difficult. But he said, though it is difficult, it's not impossible. We'll acquire the power. Soon after that meeting, when he went to Hyderabad, he was what he said, was disturbed by many events in Hyderabad. At that time, he felt he had a stroke, and after the stroke, he was admitted to the hospital. Then onwards, he became immobilized. For 2 years, he was in the bed. And in 2006, October 9th, he left his body. It was in 2014, 2006, October 14th was the day he fixed for himself to achieve his goal. But he came to know that he understood that it was not possible. And as he said, he just gave up the life. See, that is how Manyar Kanshi, he wanted to something. When he decides something, he was ready to make any sacrifices to achieve it. See, everyone makes a decision, but how much you sacrifice or how much you are devoting yourself for the cause, whatever that deviates you, whatever that comes in the way of your achievement, you must be ready to give it up. You must be ready to come out of it. You must refuse to take it. Whatever that diverts you, whatever that creates hurdles in your way, you should be able to overcome it. Manyar Kanshi had that resolute mind, and he has proved it. Till the last minute, he was speaking the language of a ruling class, speaking the language of a governing class. And that is what he wanted our people to speak. Learn to speak this language. Keep on speaking it. If not today, some other day you become a ruler. See, that is why Baba Saheb Ambedkar also took to Buddhism. Why did he take to Buddhism? It is not just a religious conversion. By conversion to Buddhism, he was telling that you become an untouchable because you are a adamant Buddhist. When all others surrender to the Brahminism, you people refuse to surrender. Why did you not surrender? Because your ancestors knew it well that you are the descendants of Ashoka the Great. You are the descendants of that great Buddhist king. So being the descendants of Ashoka the Great, how can you accept Buddhism? So you accept Brahminism. So you refuse to accept the domination of Brahminism. You refuse to accept their culture. And that is why in 1911, the British government also when they were conducting the census and when they want to identify you as untouchable, they have developed 10 criteria to identify our untouchables, tribals, and the enemies. Those 10 criteria suggest that these people, see, they refused to take the mantra. Not that Brahmins refused to give us mantra. They were ready to give the mantra, but we people refused to take the mantra. We did not respect the Upanishads and Vedas. We did not feel that we did not accept the supremacy of Vedas. Similarly, we did not have our own, Brahmins as priests. We had our own priests. And we did not have any Brahmin priest as our family priest. And the important thing is, we did not revere the cow. In fact, we were eating the cow. It was not our Gomata, because we are born to our own Mata. We are not born to Gomata. And we were eating beef. And final thing is, we used to bury the dead. We never used to burn the dead. So the Baba Ambedkar said, these are the 10 important, out of the 10 important things, these 5 are most important connected to the untouchables. These things show that these people refuse to accept the Brahminism. Why did they not have Brahminical priests? Because they had their own priests. And what kind of priests they are? Actually, originally these priests are none but bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. They refused to respect the Vedas. They did not want to respect the mantras. Why? It's all Brahminical mantras. When we have our own Dhammapada, when you have the teachings of Buddha, the Panchashila, Trisarana, Dashaparamitas, what is the need for us to go and learn them? It was needed for us. So that's the reason we refused. So we had that remembrance that we were the descendants. Somewhere in our subconscious, we had the feeling that we are not Buddha, we are not Brahmins. So this remembrance made us to have our own practices. Based on these practices, the British identified that these people are not Hindus. And they called us untouchables, the people who cannot be touched, the people who cannot be reached, the people who refuse to get surrendered. While all others are surrendered, they can be touched. But we people, we remain untouchables. They cannot touch us. They cannot catch us. So Baba Ambedkar gives 2-3 examples, incidents. See, in a village in our own Karnataka, Brahmins cannot enter into our quarters without our permission. In fact, we never permit them. Without our knowledge, if some Brahmin comes into our quarters, we used to slipper them till death. Nobody asked us why you are doing this crime, because it was our rules. And our rules were applicable in our own quarters. To the people, if we have that kind of courage, that kind of assertion, who are these people? Definitely they were not slaves. Definitely they are not Dalits, or they are not the deprived people. There must be something great people, something big, special people. So this is what the British also thought. And with this, Baba Ambedkar begins his book, Who Were the Untouchables? And understanding this, Baba Ambedkar from the beginning speaks the language of power. From day one, from 1916, he speaks the same language. In Round Table Conference also, he speaks the same language. The language of power. Gandhiji wanted Baba Ambedkar to speak the language of Harijans, but Baba speaks the language of power, the language of ruler. He never asked any benefits. He asked the share in the power. Whatever that is due for us, we want that power. But Gandhiji says, your people are very poor. They cannot manage themselves. Becoming powerful, becoming governing class, running the government, running the powerful post is a difficult thing. Baba Sahib said, that's not your headache. To prepare our people for this kind of big task, it is my work. Being the leader of our community, I take care of this. You don't worry about that. It is my duty. So we have leaders of Baba Sahib kind. they always have share in they want demand share in power. We want our share of power. But the leaders like Jagjivan Ram, Ramdas Attavale, and Ramvilas Paswan, they want benefits. They want adjustments. They want facilities. Baba Sahib never wanted any facility. He never asked for benefit. Whatever the benefit, whatever we get, that will come as a part of the power. He never demanded even reservation in services. Many people say that Baba Sahib Ambedkar mainly fought for the reservation service. No. Reservation service comes as just a dog. When dog moves, the tail will also go along with it. Don't try to catch the tail. Just catch the dog itself. When you catch the dog and take it with you, the tail will come automatically with it. Similarly, the reservation services or any other benefits, whatever it is, it will simply come as a part of it. Main thing is to acquire power. Take your power. Take your power into your hands. Because you are eligible, not anything, not less than that. Getting power into your hands, becoming ruling class, becoming powerful people is the one and the only thing. And that is the solution for everything. You don't ask everything in a piecemeal way. Don't take anything in installments. We want sites, we want houses, we want employment, we want this, that. All these things you'll get. Don't beg for it. Rulers cannot beg. Rulers will fight and get it. But unfortunately, even in Karnataka also, our Dalit poets write. They say that Dalitaru Baruvaru, Dalitaru Bandere, Dalitara Kaiga Raja Kodi. That means we Dalits are coming. Please give us power. They are begging power also. Power cannot be begged. Maner Kanshiramji used to say that if you beg, you can get some old cloths from your Malik. You can get some crumbs. You can get the thrown away foods. Because being the beggar, you are eligible only for the unwanted things for your Malik. Whatever that he doesn't want, he will give it to you. Because you are meant for that. You are eligible for that. Beggar can demand biryani, but you cannot get biryani. He knows very well that you are eligible not for fresh biryani. You are eligible for yesterday's food. Whatever that is remaining, that is your share. Because you are begging, he can give only that. Don't beg. Instead of that, you fight for your share in the power. You go for the master key. When you go for master key, then they will understand. These people cannot be satisfied with smaller things. So for their struggle, they are demanding the master key, the main thing. When you are struggling to get the main thing, that is the master key, all other things will follow. Whether you can sometimes you get it even before you get the master key, but after getting the master key, you are sure to get everything. Just to divert your attention, just like what happened in Uttar Pradesh, when they were struggling to get the master key, then the central government started naming Baba Sahib Ambedkar to the central university. So Manyar Kanshiram said, see, demanding for renaming of the university, it is there in Maharashtra. Mahars are demanding. Chamas never demanded renaming of a university. It is the demand of the Mahars in Maharashtra. Go and name the university in Maharashtra. They wanted Marathwada to be named after Baba Sahib Ambedkar. Go and do that. Why are you doing this here? You are demanding, you are naming the university in Uttar Pradesh because we are aiming for master key. So they want to hide this master key by naming the by naming the university after Baba Sahib Ambedkar. They want to hide the master key behind that. We don't want that. Whether you try to keep it behind or hide it, we take it. We want to take it as a right. If you are not allowing us, then we take it by might. We develop that power. We'll never speak the language of Dalits and beg for it. We never beg. We will get it. If it is not with right, then we'll get it with might. So in democracy, Only those people who speak the language of power can become the winners. Those who are speaking the language of beggars cannot become the rulers. I tell you one more example and end it. See, in Karnataka, the Lingaites feel that to becoming chief minister is their right. Once Yediyurappa resigned, immediately all the Lingaites gave an appeal to the BJP central leadership and said, if you are removing Yediyurappa, then you must make another Lingayat as the chief minister because it is our right, they said. Similarly, Vakaligas also feel to become the chief minister of Karnataka is their ancestral property. But look at our Kargesa, Mallikarjuna Kargesa, or Mr. K.H. Muniappa, are the senior most leaders in BJP, like Govind Karjol, or even our Ramdas Atawale. You take anybody. They don't even say that we are also aspirants for the post of a chief minister or prime minister. They cannot speak that language because they feel that being the chamchas of this party, we cannot demand. If we are given, fine, let them give. Let the leaders of the party feel that we are eligible for it. If they feel that we are eligible, they'll give us. Don't ask for it. Don't even aspire for it. Don't even dream for it. This is what the language of slaves. So if a slave, whether he's in Congress as a senior most man, whether he's a president of Congress or something, his thinking will be like a slave only, it's like a beggar only. So being the beggar, they don't have any problem with our leaders. If you are begging, if you are speaking the language of beggar, they'll be very happy. The moment you speak the language of a ruler, they cannot tolerate you. Because Behen Kumari Mayat is speaking the language of rulers, she has become a great opponent in all other great opponents to all other Manuvadi leaders. Why they hate? Why they don't? Why this media also do not give much publicity to Behenji? Because the language she is speaking is not pleasant to them. It is not very sweet to their ears. And that is why they do not want to give her any scope. It is their duty. It is their wish. We cannot ask them to change their attitude. We cannot ask them to change their outlook. We cannot ask them to change their behavior with us. That is what they can do. They will do their work promptly, honestly. They are good in doing their duty. We cannot ask them to change. What is required is we must change ourselves. By changing ourselves, we can change the thinking of the enemy. Baba Ambedkar says to the Hindus, see, being the gentleman, if you open your doors of your temple, it's well and good. If you don't want to be the gentleman, shut the doors and go to hell. Who bothers about you? And he tells our people, get highest education, acquire highest positions, acquire greater things. With all that, Hindus, if they change their mind and respect you, it's well and good. Otherwise, it hardly matters. We don't care. But don't forget to aim big. Don't forget to aim high. Aim at the highest thing. Let sky be your limit. Let the most powerful post in this world should be your aim. Unless and otherwise, you will not liberate yourself. Don't expect your enemies to liberate you. It is not their duty. It is your duty to liberate yourself. When you know that your duty, then you speak the language of a liberator. Speak the language of ruler. I want my people to be the Buddhist like Ashoka, the ruling Buddhist. I do not want my people to become begging Buddhists. This is what Manyar Kanshi said. Why he did not want to get into conversion? He was always saying, Pahle Buddh, baad mein yudh. First, enter the temple of power. Then you can enter the temple of Buddha. You can even create many number of temples of Buddha. But first, enter the. Only after that, you can get everything. You can construct any number of Buddhist temples. Many people said all those temples like Tirupati, Dharmasthal, Kedarnath, Haridwar, and Sabrimala, Ayyappa, all these things, all these temples once upon a time were the Buddhist temples. So we must launch a struggle to reacquire all these things. Kanshi said, why do you want to waste your time in that? You will never succeed. Enter the temple of power. After entering the temple of power, you can either convert them back into a Buddhist temple or else create much more better Buddhist temples all over India. Who will stop you? And the Buddhists were the rulers. They created many masjids, mosques, minars, so many things. When the Christians become the rulers, they constructed many churches, many other institutions. Similarly, when you become the rulers, you can create any number of these temples, shrines, viharas, so many things. So what is more important? Which is first? Understand this. Pahle yudh, baad mein buddh. Who can win the yudh? Who can win the war? Only one who speaks the language of winner. So speak the language of winner. Develop the language of winner. This is the greatest message I've learned from my master, Manyavad Kanshi, the Dada Saheb Kanshi. Thank you. Thank you very much. Jai Bhim, Jai Bharat.
Thank you very much, Gopinath sir.
Welcome.
Your reputation is evident with the way you command and you demonstrate your credibility. We are immensely grateful for your time and also the experiences you have shared with us. Now, there are a few questions we will ask you, and then you can comment on them.
Okay.
The struggle that we are now witnessing in the Bahujan movement and across. You are somebody who came of the age, and that was one of the first generations who got education, got the job, and you were very much aligned with the struggle of people. And of course, there were other people also. Now, the second generation they're on social media, they are doing all of this. Now, how and what is the plan of the party to recruit in this grand vision of changing the mentality? Because oftentimes we have all this experience, especially the youngsters who are not exposed to the ruling class idea. They think of themselves as permanent victims. And that's why they are always abusing and accusing each others. And it becomes a skirmish at a level where you are not going to have outcome. You're just going to blame each other, throw flames at each other. So for the benefit of the Bahujan Samaj, but also the party and the vision, is there any work that has been done from your side, the leadership or the organizationally, or how to kind of get them into the fold?
See, the thing is, the recently held meeting in the National Executive Committee meeting, when she has identified all these problems, and she said, before 2007, we used to conduct a lot of cadre camps and we used to speak all these languages and give them training on this. But after getting power on our own strength in 2007, somehow everyone wanted to get the benefit of this power. When we formed our own government in Uttar Pradesh for 5 years, people wanted to become MLCs or MLAs, seeing one another. Everyone thought that now we have our own government. Why not we get this benefit? Why not we get that benefit? Why not we become Rajya Sabha member, MLC, MLA, this, that, everything? So when the top leaders started aspiring for all these big posts, then the smaller leaders also, whatever that is as a feasible for them, they also started thinking about that. In the process, they stopped recruiting and preparing the cadres at the ground level. But of course, in Karnataka, we never stopped. Even today, it continues. Our cadre camps are continuing, and we are creating many more trainers. Now that after the killing of our great leader, Mr.
Armstrong
K. Armstrong in Tamil Nadu, Behanji asked me to take up the in charge in Tamil Nadu also. So Tamil Nadu people also very much eager to see conduct these classes. I told them it's a time for us to prepare ourselves. We should not engage in going out in public for rallies, public meetings, dharna, this, that, and all. It's a time for us to prepare ground. So she always used to say, have your classes, trainings within four walls. एक कमरे में हमेशा हमें कमरे में करना है. Don't show your strength openly very often. By showing your strength, the enemy will be alerted. So they will always plan against you. They will always plan counter strategies. While these Pailwans were preparing for the, the jung, for the wrestling, they always prepare in a closed room, even closing the windows and doors, everything. Their strength will be known only in the field. When they come out to the ring, only then they'll show all their tricks and strategies. Similarly, you should learn everything, developing many new strategies and the new tricks and understanding the system and what best can be used against all these things. There are so many things. See, you must understand the way enemy behaves, and you must develop your own methods, strategies, and keep on experimenting it in a closed walls. The opponent should never know that what you are doing, how you are preparing. Once you prepared, when you want to show the strength, you must be so powerful that the enemies should be immobilized. They should not be given an opportunity to defeat you or to weaken you. That is where you have to do it. You should never show your strength openly very often. But when you show your strength, then you must win. Only at that time you must show your strength. Till then, don't exhibit your strength. So in fact, we are looking into new techniques. We are also meeting and taking the services, help of some of our experts in this IT field and social media and even robotic science. We have met many people. Unfortunately, we have our own people doing very well in this new technology, and they are ready to offer their services to us, and many are engaging in that, and we are taking their services. We are not just following the old methods or age-old techniques, traditional things like what Manyar Kanshiramji did. At that time, it was okay, but now there is no need to follow the same old tricks, the same old methods. We have to adapt to the new methods, new technology. We must use this information technology, biotechnology, everything. And we have experts. We cannot become experts in everything. But there are people who are experts, specialists. We must take their services, and they are willing to use the services. Correct. At present, we are thinking about it, and we are adopting it, adopting new techniques, and we are also finding good results in that.
One of the qualms that the youth had towards the BSP party was that it was not adopting the modern changes the way other political parties to reach out to the masses. Even RSS, Mohan Bhagwat has a channel on YouTube, and there is a regular interaction. And I think that one of that thing seems to be missing also from Behenji and the party. Is there a way, maybe there is much more public facing interaction in this sense? Has that also come up? Because people get assured when they see their leader, like when Behenji gave this impromptu speech in Tamil Nadu at the funeral of Brother Armstrong. Many people told me, they are not part of BSP, but they support Ambedkarite movement, and they told me they were very empowered to see Behenji speak, even though Behenji did not speak anything radical. She just demanded CBI inquiry. But even that was very much encouraging for people. Is there a way to maybe look at that also as a possibility?
Many people asked the same thing. They wanted Behenji to speak in the old style of see what you like a
Fiery,
very
firebrand.
fiery speech. But Behenji always reads the printed matter. But it was for a different purpose. The first thing is she had many times while speaking, while making fiery speeches, sometimes people find fault with them, and the enemies will be waiting for us to commit something very mistakes, grave mistakes, and they used to take advantage of it. So many things, but she later on she understood that just making fiery speeches on the dais is not very much necessary, because Manyar Kanshiramji never used to speak any fiery language. In fact, he was not a very good orator like some of the great our Maharashtra speakers like our B.C. Kamble, Jogendra Kavade, Ramdas Atawale. See, in Maharashtra, we have many such great orators, but they hardly created any big team of cadres. Say Ambedkar team, but whereas Manyar Kanshiramji succeeded in creating a big army of Ambedkarites, great supporters. How he could do it? See, as a public speaker, he was not a very good communicator, but even before he was speaking in the stage, he would communicate to the people what he wanted to say, how people learned it, how people understood him, and how did they follow him in millions. It's a very strange thing. So Behenji also understood that and suggested us, prepare the people in small groups, prepare them always in closed quarters. Only then you can touch their hearts, prepare the cadres, and through the cadres meet the masses. Don't try to meet the masses yourself directly very often. You prepare the cadres, you prepare the leaders at the ground level, and let the leaders at the ground level meet the masses. And that is a very scientific thing. See, even RSS also did the same thing, and they are doing, even today also, they are doing the same thing.
Right. Anywhere. I mean, anywhere in the world, unless you have a prepared cadre, you can't bring up the revolution and change. The cadre has to be somebody who is educated, who is aware of the theory, and also they need to implement when you come into power. And I think this is this is something, there's also a comment here which is asking, sir, which is from some anonymous attendee. Now, we cannot verify this person, but they say there was a time when there used to be there is a show of strength. Delhi chalo, Lucknow chalo. Like I myself from childhood with my father would go to attend with him to various rallies where Kanshi Ram Sahib used to come, and basically all the cadres would basically book the seats railway, and it was like a family affair. 3-4 days you will go Nashik, Nizamabad, and all of that. Now we don't seem that to happening, and we have memories of that. We have memories of going, instead of going to some yatra for some god, there was a yatra for political, and cultural kind of thing. So that seems to be not there. And I think, do you have a response to that? Of course, you said Behenji since have acknowledged that since 2007 there has been a lacuna to look at sustaining the cadres. Is there a new thinking going on now, sir?
See, before taking such rallies and Delhi chalo, Bombay chalo, all these things, you just look at Manyar Kanshiramji for 20 years. Was almost working at the underground. He could never see the photos of Baba Manyar Kanshiram with the black hair. He could see him only with the gray hair. What he was doing during his youth days, when he was very young, what was he doing? He was preparing the roots, he was preparing the cadres, he was preparing at the bottom level. Okay, unless you prepare these cadres at the bottom level, unless you prepare the army, you cannot launch the war. At present, The soldiers we are supposed to have in a big number. Somehow they all felt that our work is over. Now we must enjoy the power. But our work is not over. We have to become soldiers. We should become army men.
Right.
We must develop our army. And then when the army becomes sufficiently powerful, we can really launch the war and we can win the war.
Actually,
I don't want to expand it much more.
No, you did a good point, because I met Akash Anand last year, and I was telling him, because there is a lot of people here in diaspora who are supporters of the Bahujan ideology, but we are unable to capture them. And I was just proposing some ideas, and he gave also a very good response, which kind of relates to your response as well. He was like, how many people do we really have? So in the sense of, do we have enough people if Behenji at all decides to come to America or anywhere else? And I think that's a very good response, and that's a responsible way of looking at things, that we need to start preparing cadres. You made one point about media not giving enough scope to Behenji, Mayawati, and because she's asking for something more radical that challenges the status quo and so forth. Now that is an excuse that has been given since forever, and we can't rely on that excuse. Kanshi Ram Saab started his 4 journals, right? I mean, you've been instrumental in many of them, translating the speeches, not only Untouchable India, Oppressed India, and Bahujan Nayak, Bahujan Times, and so forth. In fact, Rajshekhar and him went and bought property or somewhere in Noida. Before Noida, what we have today, Noida as a channel. This is the vision of Kanshi Ram Saab. Is there any scope of, why rely on others? Create your own media. That seems to be not happening. The scope is not there. Behenji, no. So tell us about that, please, if you can.
I cannot tell so many things.
Okay.
But we also felt there is a need for our own media, and we are making an appeal. And in fact, when we had the opportunity to talk with Behenji, she said we look into it. And at present, we have so many other priorities, and we do not have sufficient staff. We are searching for some, well-trained people who can manage all those things on their own.
Right.
See, if they want for everything, if they want my intervention, then it's not possible. Sure. It's very difficult, because she is actually very good executive, and she is running the movement. She will not have much time for this. But if there are people who are very capable of running that, then we can think of the possibility.
Because
certainly we can do it.
No, I think this is something that has been lagging in any movement. Has a mouthpiece that communicates with its cadres and also announces its policies and action. And in this age, the mouthpiece is also in print, but also it's in your phone. Because the old school has changed to this, and it happens. And one of the things that is held against BSP is that it is media shy. It doesn't go out to the media very much. To kind of, there is a press conference or there is a press release, but there is not much engagement on that front end. So is there any kind of a distrust on the spokespeople? Because there is, I don't think because
well, the entire media is being purchased by the capitalists.
Correct.
See, how can you expect them to give us any scope in that? See, how can we expect any role in that? How can they give us speak high of us? See, in Karnataka itself, for the last 3 years, we had many big programs, state level programs. We had a very big program for nearly 2 months, covering about 150 assemblies. It was a big program. But wherever we used to have big rallies, around 70 big programs, we had public meetings. In very few places where we had some of our own representatives in the newspaper, they used to they gave some little space for us to see whatever we spoke exactly. They reproduced it, but in most of the places we never used to get any kind of publicity. We never used to get it. And being in the government when Behenji was the chief minister, even being the chief minister also, she never used to get the
And
share.
which
The share she was supposed to. She was
which is
supposed to get.
true, which is true also now, sir. Sorry to kind of interrupt you. Which is also true case now. But what we see now is there are few resources around,
Mm.
like me, and maybe there are a few others who have access to national and international media, right? And who can intervene. And so not only we can create a base of so many people like myself and many others who can
Then
then.
why don't you start on your own?
No, no,
Independently
it
start.
is.
Why no? Why do you expect Behenji to intervene or Behenji to to any kind of support? You just start. She will bless you. She will be happy. We will also be very happy if somebody like you.
No, that's
Hmm?
that's a very fair point, and you are making a very kind of a good case about not relying on it. But what happens if there is a lack of communication? There is very little one can do. For this election, for example, I was the only one who wrote on Behenji, 4 articles in
Hmm.
national media trying to position. There was no one else. It's not that I am the only one doing, it's because there are not many people who have access to these resources, right? And so people will be able to do it. And I think what I'm trying to emphasize here is the the constituency is changing now. The old school organizing that you have very poignantly pointed out is kind of evolving, and I think we don't have to rely on leaders. I'm of the opinion I don't need to meet anybody to make the work. This is the mission. This is the work of a mission, and you have to continue. You don't need nobody's blessing. I don't need Mayawati blessing or anybody's blessing. The work has to continue. Mayawati or BSP is part of a mission. It is a part of Ambedkar mission. If the mission continues, the kind of and so this message has to be brought out to public, right? But at the end of the day, when somebody else is willing to kind of coordinate, and so what it becomes is a professor, somebody Shubham asked a question. Some professor in JNU asked about a pan alliance of Dalit and Bahujan parties as a third front. What do you think? How is it feasible?
see, aligning with either the Manuwadi parties or the organizations supported by the Manuwadis, how will it bring change in the lives of our people? For example, the persons like Chandrasekhar Azad, he got elected mainly because of support of a BJP and Congress. See, similarly, few years ago, what is it, some Jignesh or somebody was there in Gujarat.
In Gujarat, yeah.
Gujarat. He was also brought up. He was also give projection. Where are they now? Hmm? Many people ask us, why don't you align with the other Bahujan parties? They are no doubt they are Bahujan parties, but they are controlled, guided by the Manwadi parties. How can you expect any kind of alliance with them? See, in most of the places, there is a struggle to capture a particular place, and there are competitors for this. What we want to capture, for the same thing, they have developed many competitors, and they want to occupy their place in place of a Bahujan Samaj party. So when they have become competitors, so where is the question of having any coordination with them? If they are really one with the mission, who stops them to join BSP? Why not they join BSP?
Well,
But they feel that they
now,
want to become. Tell me.
sir, I asked Jignesh specifically because I had invited Jignesh to speak in Nanded. I said, why don't you? And he told me he has been trying so incessantly for many years to get in touch with Bahenji, and he has not been successful. So this is what Jignesh told. And every time, I mean, his politics is of a different orientation. He may come or not. But he told me this. I asked him this question. He says, brother, I've been trying. If I can get an audience, this is what he told me. I also asked Chandrasekhar, I say, what about this mission? He said, Bahinji is not our enemy, part of mission. I'm trying, but that things are not working. So in a way, it seems like there is a little bit of, and now we can't speak of Chandrasekhar at this moment, now that he has become an MP of his own independent party. But at least for Jignesh, I could, and also Chandrasekhar in this case, there was a cold shoulder from BSP, is what I heard from both of them. Do you agree with that? That the people is a suspicion about them?
You told that they tried. Tried with whom? How did they try? I don't have any details.
Right.
Because I'm closely connected with Behenji.
Mm.
See, I was also running an independent movement in Karnataka, but I felt that running an independent movement, it's of no use. See, as Baba Sahib Ambedkar said, we are a national community, so we must have a national party and we must have one leader.
Yes.
Of course, Ambedkarism is our ideology.
Sure.
If that is the case, why should we stick on to our personal egos? Why should we think that we have our own emotion, ambition? Why you want to think that we must carve our own way when the way is already there? When we have a national party, why not we try to strengthen it?
Mm.
Anyway, there is a national party. Why do you want to create another national party? If that national party is useless and it is powerless, it is something irrelevant, then you can think of it, something else. Manyar Kanshi, he always wanted to strengthen RP in the beginning for nearly 8 years. After knowing that RP has become part of Congress, somewhere in 1964, 1964, I think 71, he understood that RP has become part of Congress. When they made an alliance with Congress just for one seat, Pandrapur seat. With one seat, they started saying that Abhi Yuti Jali ho gaya, Yuti Jali with Congress and BJP. After 15 years, Dr. Ambedkar and Dr. Ambedkar and Mahatma Ji, Gandhi Ji, they have become one. Then he understood now the real Ambedkar movement, RP, is dead. It is no more. It has become irrelevant. Only then he thought of starting a Bahujan Samaj Party. Before starting Bahujan Samaj Party, he has understood what is the cause for this failure. He understood that no political party can succeed unless we have non-political roots very strong.
Right.
So he engaged himself for 20 years in strengthening the non-political roots. This is what he did. Now we have a national party, and this national party is really adamant party without any compromise.
Yeah.
Without any compromise with any other party. I don't understand this. But the problem is, we want to become leaders on our own party. We want to have our own shops. We don't want to go to a bigger shop and become part of it. Either they want to sit in the main seat. They want to become the owner. When the owner is already there, and when the owner is doing already good work, what is the problem in supporting and being one with the owner?
Right.
Simple thing.
I think we should be a little bit sensitive in our critiques of our own leaders, though they may not belong to a party. We should have at least the sense of the way we approach them, because what happens is oftentimes, as you know, in politics there is no permanent enemy and permanent friend, and at least in our own kind of a community with lack of kind of visible leaders, I think there is a certain uncertainty, and I think there is a way, and one thing one should agree, and there is no doubt about that, is as the word used very rightfully, sir, the adamant party, VSP is adamant party, and it's very categorized, it's focused on its mission, and it's a national party, and so if you really have a national goals, you have no other option but BSP. And in my interactions with many Dalit leaders in different political parties, even BJP, they recognize the importance of BSP, and sometime in their life they have reached out. Even Tiruma Valavan in VCK, I asked him, I spent 2 days with him last year. I said, what about BSP? Why did you? And he told me he went to Lucknow along with some of his to join the party, but he was not given a favorable attention. I don't know the local coordinators and what happened. So what we are saying is we should not just blame the leaders. We should also confess that there has been some difficulty in direct communication and interaction is my report. It's not that they had to start their own quote unquote shops, but they were interested to, because it will be just a fool to think of starting something new when you can already set into the boat that is already sailing in the water. Here you will have to chop the wood, get people together and then convince them to get in their boat. When there is already a big ship, you can do. And I think so. Do you recognize that there has been some sort of also limitation from the side of the party as well?
I will quote one incident.
Hmm.
In 1998, in that first Dalit conference, Manyar Kanshi was invited and he spoke on the topic rulers alone can create casteless society. He spoke for about 1.5 hours.
Hmm.
After that, see that audience were not so much matured or intellectuals to understand his thoughts.
Hmm.
When the speech was coming to an end, they started sending small slips to end his speech. And of course, by then, Manyar Kanshi, what he wanted to convey, he conveyed it. And he stopped his speech. And later on, our Ramvilas Paswan also started speaking. His speech was very much, it was very rabble-rousing speech, and everyone appreciated, everyone felt very happy, whistling, all these things went on. It was a political speech. Manyar Kanshiram's speech was not a political speech, it was a missionary speech. It's a visionary speech. At that time, Ramvilas Paswan said, Kanshiramji, I accept you as my leader. As a leader, you must have a broad mind to embrace me. You are talking about something which will take place after 200 years. I am already 50. You are already 60. When are you going to see this get materialized? Why do you think of so long a period? Why don't you think of next generation, next election? Saab started laughing and laughing. He never replied, but he kept on laughing. And he was feeling somewhat Ramvilas Paswan was feeling a little bit irritated because the way he was laughing itself was a big message for the audience. And it was a reply for him. What he understood, only he knows it. After the meeting, I was staying with him in his room. I asked him, so he said that he is ready to accept you as a leader and he want to join the party, why not we welcome him? Then he said, when I wanted him to come to BSP, he never came. At the time he said, I'll be made as the Prime Minister by VP Singh and by somebody else. I will become VP Singh. I will not come now. Now he's ready to come to us because he's thrown away from others. Now he cannot fulfill his dream. Now he wants to come. Why should I take him now? Now already I have Behenji. Why should I create a competitor for Behenji? And without him, we are running very successfully. Why do you want him now? And he doesn't have any vision. He is a pure politician. See what he said. Think of a next election. But I'm thinking about next generations. So I'm thinking about next generations. I don't want any careerists. I don't want anybody who thinks about how to get elected in the next election. To get elected in the next election, to become MP, MLA, that's a very small thing. And if our mission succeeds, then we can think of all those things. See, becoming MLA itself is not our aim, but it comes in the process. It becomes a part of it. There is no need to keep it as the main aim. Somehow or the other, becoming MP is very MP. Somehow or the other, even I also can become a president of India or deputy prime minister because our Vajpayee offered me. If I would have been sufficient, if it would have been aiming for becoming a president or a deputy prime minister or something else, they were ready to offer me. They were ready to give me that, but I was not for it. I'm not interested in whatever that they are giving, but my aim is something else. I'm aiming for the people, for the next generations. They are the careerists. They want to get elected in the next election. So they are ready to align with anybody. They are ready to compromise with anybody. That means they're ready to compromise with any principle of any other party. But I don't make any compromise. I'm very clear in that. Understanding my principle, understanding my mission, understanding my goal. If they come without any condition, I'm ready to take them. Same thing applies to all others, even now also.
I hope
Right?
I hope the way you explain sends out some message to others who are keen to perhaps join or consider the option of BSP as a
Yeah,
political movement and option. We have final two questions, sir, and then we'll let you go also. I
yeah.
will put up this question. Bridge Mohan and Sonali Ahire have asked. So one is, how can you change the psychology of Dalits without changing their social economic status? And so if there is a change, then what difference it is if a Bahujan becomes ruler or a Brahmin becomes ruler? Can you explain that? So socio-economic change and a ruler.
Yeah, that's a very beautiful question. You expect the change, but from where it has to begin? Somewhere you should begin, no? Change the social, economic system or political system. Those are the things which are outside you.
Hmm.
You don't have any control over it. But changing yourself, changing your own psychology, changing your own language is very much within your control, very much within your boundary. If you change it, if you decide it, you can change it right now. But it's not the case with socio-economic change, which is very much outside you, which is beyond your control at present. You cannot control it. You cannot even change even an iota of it. But changing yourself is possible. Unless you are ready to change yourself, you cannot change anything outside.
Right.
Your social transformation starts with your personal transformation. Look at all our leaders. They aimed for a social change. And look at their personality also. They were a very different personalities. They changed their own psychology, lock, stock, barrel. They were totally changed. They cannot be compared with any other politicians of their time. Their personality were different, their psychology were different, their language were different, their dress code was different, their behavior was different. Everything was unique. It is that kind of a personal change that ultimately results in the social change. If you bring that change at the individual level, and if you create the army of such individuals, that is the real cultural change. So for any political change, the cultural change must precede it. First, the cultural change. Cultural change means not just going to some religion and accepting a religion and see chanting Buddhism, Trisarana, Panchashila. That's very mechanical things. Change yourself according to the change you are expecting outside. If you want to expect any change outside, see that change from yourself first, from within you. Change your inner world, then you think of the outer world. That is the procedure. You have to change everything from inside out, not outside in. It's not possible. It is unscientific. This is what even Buddha said. A man thinketh as he is. Change your inner world. Then the outer world will change. It may take time. Don't worry about that. Be happy with whatever that change you are bringing from within. Am I right?
Yes, that's excellent. And so final question, sir. I mean, this question is trying to see the empowerment of women. So is there a position of BSP which can create a cadre for political power through, for example, economic empowerment of women? And I guess the party manifesto, there is this thing. Another question kind of relates to that is with regarding to empowerment of women, and I will read out the question. Bahujan youth do not connect with the idea of BSP. Most of today's Instagram generation have not seen rule of BSP to rely on struggle and narrative of BSP. That is why Chandrasekhar Azad is favorite. No option for youth to get representation, or youth has no reach to their leaders. So I think the kind of comments kind of also kind of goes back to the first point that we were trying to discuss about this feasibility and reaching out.
No, I already answered these questions.
Yeah.
As I said, see, we are also, what do you say that we are, we are say, making many experiments, this Instagram and other social media, everything, and we are looking out for all these experts in all these fields. We want to get their services, and we also expect our youths to come on their own, and if they are really interested in spreading the Ambedkarism ideology and empowering our people. Let them come out openly. Everyone wants to meet Behenji. What is the need? You can meet people like us. We are at the ground level, common persons, and we are always accessible 24 hours. I never keep my phone off, even for 10 minutes. At the most, I can keep it in silence, but I don't keep it off. And people like me, there are many. There are hundreds of people like me. Let them meet us. And we are ready to offer our services. We are ready to meet them, interact with them, share them. And if they are very good in their fields, certainly we will create an opportunity for them to lead the top leadership. Like they can meet even Behenji, and Behenji is always there to help them out. She will always there to guide us. She never said that I can't do this. Don't come to me. See how to get into accessibility, how to meet her, how to reach her. It's not a difficult thing. I never felt that difficulty in reaching out to Behenji, though I was a very small man and I was running my own organization. I felt that there is no need to run such a small organization after understanding what is Ambedkarism. I went on my own, without anybody's help to keep on doing my work. And through my work, I reached Manyar Kanshi. Through my work, I reached Behenji. I never asked for her appointment or anything. She herself called me. Manyar Kanshi, he himself called me. There is always, there is a saying, it's a beautiful saying. When the disciple is ready, master will come to him on his own. The disciple must be ready. This movement, I feel that such a Guru Parampara. We are not just cadres, we are not just followers, we are not just members, we are all disciples. So when you are ready, the master will come. Whether he is dead or alive, he will come. Behenji is no exception. She will also come. She will call you. She will come to you. She will reach you.
But sir, why is this? No, but why is this obsession with meeting Behenji? What is it to gain? Like why? What do you think is happening there? Like why is it such a thing? What is it?
It's a kind of just meeting Behenji means they feel that they are honored. They are very important people. And they will come out and say, oh no, I met Behenji. See, I took a photograph. She is very close to me. By doing all these things, they want to project that they're very important. See, that's the thing. That's all. It's just very calm, very simple human psychology.
That is interesting. I think I think this was a great session, sir. Thank you for giving us more opportunities and trying to engage. The questions keep coming, and about organizing some conferences and doing closed door. And I think the party is going to work, as you said, after this setback and defeat in this election. The party is thinking anew and kind of strategizing new ways. Hopefully, that will be seen by many of the attendees here. Maybe they will get the message of doing more work. But as Gopinath sir had said, this is a mission, and we should find out the lacuna and try to join it. It's not about somebody telling you to do this or do that. You just find out, you just notice, and you are doing it the right thing. You're doing the work of bringing glory to your own community and trying to establish what the Constitution promises us. So I think many of the people, and I tell the youth often when they have doubts about it, and first thing I tell them is, they keep asking me, and they say, have you met this person, that person? I don't need to. If you feel that you are part of a mission, you continue doing your mission. Like my father, he was a chaprasi in bank, but then when the Bahujan movement in 2009, Behenji adopted the Sarvajan idea, he started with his provident fund that he received a newspaper called Sarvajan. So these are the kind of cadres who do the work. Nobody knows. The party doesn't know that some Marathi newspaper that is coming out in Maharashtra out of a provident fund of a chaprasi is there.
Great.
But that's a mission. That's the cadre who does the work, who feels that my life is owed to a movement and I will give back. And so he literally gave his provident fund to the movement to start this newspaper. It only lasted for 4 to 5 months. But nevertheless, that effort is what counts. and this is a small time cadre in small district in small town in Nanded. So this is a message. This is the inspiration for all of us, and many of us have access. And now today, I have access. Like before this, I was just speaking. I was on India Today. I was speaking at a panel on various issues. So we have these resources, and I think we just have to go there. Nobody told me to go and put the position of Behenji, but I had to because she took the rationalist position. And I think this is what I would like to encourage you all to also think. There are many lacunas in any movement. No movement is perfect, but this is our responsibility to join it and try to shape it the way we can. Sometimes you do not have to be a formal member, but you have to be a sympathizer. There is a lot of negativity, and negativity is not created by our own people, but the oppressors, the opponents. And one of that is talking about Behenji being loose, Behenji being not fixed on issues, Behenji. There's always this narrative about Behenji, Behenji, Behenji. We should remove Behenji from this analysis and think about movement. That is, the movement is bigger, our icons and our mission is bigger. Gopinath sir is there, and many other people are there. And also, please don't obsess. Also, request to all is to not think about one single person as a final emancipator. A leader is somebody, but emancipator is something that you have to rely on ideologies. So let's think about that. Let's start caderizing. Hopefully, the BSP party will come to your door to say we are caderizing. We are organizing a cader for youth, for students who will be prepared for next generation, and maybe we will see the change. This was the third lecture of Kanshiram lecture series, co-organized with Dr. Prashant Ingole, who is right now in Mohali. Gopinath sir, your travels are very busy. You are a very busy man. You've been traveling with Kanchiram Sahab, and it's just a pleasure. I can just sit with you and hear so many stories. I didn't even know that you were in Kuala Lumpur. You have so many anecdotes to share. And I am personally somebody who is keen, who wants to write about the political issues that Kanchiram Sahab dealt with. We'll have many more speakers. Keep watching and keep encouraging yourself. Our mission is to for economic emancipation and social liberation. Thank you, social transformation. Thank you so much, Gopinath sir, for joining. Thank you so much, Prashant, and thank you so much to all the participants for coming. Next time, please don't come as an anonymous attendee. We will not take questions. We want you to identify yourself truly. Jai Bhim, everybody, and Jai Bharat.
I am also equally thankful. Equally happy and great. Thankful to you. And at last, I want to tell you, please convey my Jai Bhim salute to your great father, who has spent his provident fund money for a magazine. We need such great people, and they are the icons, and they are the people who are our role models. Number one. And number two, as you said, there may be many lacunae in any party, any movement. Even BSP may also have some demerits. I don't say no. So any growing party, any party which is alive, any movement that is alive, will always have such demerits. But just discarding it or sending a negative, talking negative about it, where else you can go?
Exactly.
Okay, if the party is not good, if there is another alternative, then you can go.
Exactly.
But we have to be here because this is the only party. We can correct it. We can change it. We can show our concern. We are here we can suggest. You are always here. And we are people, we are always here to accept your suggestions. Take your feedback. There are people like us. Because we want to improve. We want to grow. How can one grow? How can one grow? Only by correcting the mistakes. By correcting the mistakes only growth is possible. So if there are some mistakes and if you have some constructive suggestions, please give us. Please tell me. And you have my number. And I'm also very much happy to be associated with brother Suraj Angre and Prashant Ingole. And I continue to be in touch with you always be in contact with you. So let us have a common meetings like this. Whenever you come to India, please meet me, and I'm also happy to meet you somewhere where you are coming. Once you came to our office in Bangalore, unfortunately, I was not there on that day.
I know.
After you left, our office secretary telephoned and told me. I really felt very bad. When you come next time, please inform us in advance so that we can make ourselves convenient to meet you, and we'll have a get together
Sure.
Because come as a individual and meet 1 or 2 persons, went away. A person like you should come in and you should come to our place, informing us in advance, so that many others will take the benefit of a meeting you, taking your insight, understanding you, so sharing so many things. We missed that opportunity
Yeah,
because you came just like that and you went just like that.
no,
So
but
next time,
the state president very kindly feed me his home cooked food. He took me to his office, and I was very grateful for the hospitality. It
he's
was,
a very kind person, very great person, very generous person.
yeah.
So that is great quality, and that is one big quality that attracts many people. It's so good in it. But what I felt that had you informed us a little bit earlier, we could have organized some 100, 200 people, and
Sir,
there are many admirers for you.
sir.
I feel that somewhere I feel that very sad that we missed that opportunity. So
We
let us
will
not make that mistakes. Let us
do,
not repeat it in future. Let us,
yeah.
compensate it next time. So inform us in advance. We'll organize the meeting. You come and complete. Share your thoughts. We'll be very happy to hear you. So we hope that when you come to Bangalore, when you come to India, you'll make it a point to come to our office and meet us. Thank you. Thank you
So
very much. Jai.
we'll do two events, one in coastal Karnataka and one in the in North Karnataka. So we will meet more people.
Sure.
So we'll commit to it.
Sure.
Over to you,
And even
Prashant.
if you come
Yeah,
to Bangalore, Tamil Nadu also. Now I am in charge there. I will
right,
organize the meeting.
right, sir. Thank
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Jai Bhind, Jai Bharat.